Hello there, very good evening and welcome to the news tonight here on Sabha TV. I'm Preeti Shilshi and in the next 30 minutes I'll be getting you all the day's top stories, starting with the headlines. President Pranab Mukherjee recommends consideration of private members' bill to provide for protective measures for farmers in drought-prone areas. The heat wave scorches many parts of the country. Orissa, Telangana and Andhra Pradesh record maximum temperatures of 45 degrees and above. Congress gives notice to suspend question hour in Rajya Sabha on the Uttarakhand crisis on Monday. Will ask the House to adopt resolution to condemn imposition of President's rule in the state. And Bangladeshi professor Razaul Karim Siddiqui is hacked to death by suspected Islamists. Angry students and teachers demand a probe. Our top story this evening: as several states reel under severe drought, President Pranab Mukherjee has recommended consideration of a private member's bill that provides for protective measures for farmers of arid, desert and drought-prone areas. The bill will also provide for a welfare fund with an initial corpus of 10,000 crore rupees. The Farmers of Arid and Desert Areas Welfare and Other Special Provisions Bill 2014 was introduced by Congress leader Ahmed Patel in Rajya Sabha in December 2014. Now, the bill, if enacted, will involve expenditure from the Consolidated Fund of India. The financial memorandum of the bill says that an estimated sum of 20,000 crore rupees may be involved as recurring expenditure per annum. A non-recurring expenditure of 5,000 crore rupees may also be involved from the Consolidated Fund of India. Now, under the rules, a bill which would involve expenditure from the Consolidated Fund of India cannot be passed by Parliament unless the President has recommended to the House its consideration. The bill has now been listed for consideration in the upper house. And this perhaps the need of the hour, with the drought situation in Maharashtra so dire that water has to be delivered to the region by trains. The water train has so far made several trips, especially to Latur, delivering about 5,000 litres of water each time. And amid the immediate crisis and allegations of water mismanagement, people are fighting to get hold of drinking water to survive. More than 40 people have died in water-related deaths in the past 2 months. And there's also anger over how the government has handled the crisis so far.
Indu waits in the shade with her 2 grandchildren. It's been 2 hours since she has been sitting here, awaiting her turn to fill water. She has another 3 hours to go.
पानी के लिए क्या हो रहा है? पानी नहीं है बोल के तो उधर से आ रही इतनी दिन कैसा करना हम पानी 4-5 घंटे बैठना घर में जाना करना सुबह से पानी का धड़ 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 करने का पानी नहीं है पीने का.
The situation is more or less the same all across Maharashtra. Rivers, lakes and ponds have run dry. Even the dams have little or no water left. Water tanks, often guarded by police, are the only way people in the region can get access to their most basic ration.
A small kid of 5 years or 10 years daughter, they have gone for water fetching, and that's why they lost their lives in wells or below tanker. So everybody in Marathwada and especially in Latur, day and night, they are striving to collect water.
Experts say that the drought in Marathwada region is not a surprise. Mismanagement of this natural resource is at the core of the problem. Farmers are the worst hit. More than 32,000 farmers committed suicide last year alone.
पहले मिलता था खाना में ये सब पूरा हो जाता था. अब कुछ नहीं मिल रहा. चारा नहीं जानवर को, ये नहीं है. पानी नहीं पीने को.
Farmers in Aurangabad burned 400 trees of sweet lime as they protested the lack of this basic life source.
10 साल हो गए बाग लगाया अपन, अभी ये साल में पानी बिल्कुल नहीं, पर सरकार की मदद भी नहीं मिलती हमको. इसे पानी झाड़ फिर जला दे बाद में. पानी नहीं मिल रहा, पीने को भी पानी नहीं, गांव को भी पानी नहीं.
सरकार के तरफ से क्या है 6,000 मिले गए साल, कुछ भी नहीं मिले ये साल तो।
According to estimates, more than half of India's farming households are in debt, owing banks and moneylenders lakhs of rupees, despite numerous loan write-offs by successive governments. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha Television.
Beed district is the worst affected, with wells, reservoirs and dams dried up completely, and this is also a region from where maximum farmer suicides have been reported. Now, Beed is the State Minister Pankaja Munde's district, and despite her recent drought selfies controversy, locals say that some timely steps have made a slight difference. Here's a report.
Grief-stricken family and friends mourning the death of Kailash Tilak Rao More. This owner of 16 bighas in Ronas village of Beed district ended his life on 11th of April, unable to pay his farming debts. More is one of the 55 farmers who committed suicide in the district this year. Some time ago, the government had acquired a part of his land for the National Highway project. The family had pinned its hope on the 42 lakh rupees as they were promised as compensation. But bureaucratic red tape prevented it from reaching them. Expenses that More incurred on his son Gorakhnath's wedding last month further swelled his debts, proving to be the final straw for him. More's story is shared by almost every other farmer in the village.
वो बहुत दिन से बीड़ को आ रहे थे, पैसे नहीं मिले इसलिए उन्होंने सुसाइड किया, और उनकी ज़मीन जो जा रही है रोड में उसके पैसे नहीं मिल रहे थे इसलिए वो परेशान थे। 3 साल से बारिश नहीं हो रही है और खेत में कुछ भी अनाज नहीं पैदा हुआ।
Dominated by Marathas, the 1,500-strong population in Ronas village includes members of all communities. It used to be a prosperous place once, but that was before recurring droughts for the last 5 years ruined the local economy. Fallow land and scarcity of drinking water have together crushed the hopes of the villagers. The lone hand pump manages to cough up water to fill up 4 vessels a day, which is why every household has installed tanks to store water. Tankers provide each family about 500 liters of water once every 8 days. To prevent fights from breaking out, the village panchayat decides the distribution of the water. But despite this, the water provided by the administration is not fit to drink, and women are forced to walk long distances for clean water.
5 साल हो गया बारिश नहीं, इसलिए खेती में कुछ आता नहीं, हर किसान को कोई पीक नहीं, कुछ नहीं, गांव में पानी नहीं, सब वो परेशानी में है।
यहाँ 8 दिन को 10 दिन को 11 दिन को एक बार ही टैंकर आता है ना, आता है तो गंदा पानी आता है। हम गरीबी लोग हैं, अभी कौन बोलता है ये करो वो करो, बाद में दवाखाने में जाने का पैसा कहाँ से लाने का, बताओ हम लोग को तो क्या करने का हम लोग ने।
District Magistrate Naval Kishore Rai admits the situation is very bad, but he points out the administration is operating a round-the-clock war room that's taking steps on several levels to overcome the crisis.
हमारा वाटर टैंक है, तकरीबन उसमें 12,000 लीटर पानी होता है, और एक गांव में तो बोल सकते हैं कि औसतन 2 या 3 ट्रिप्स हम लगाते हैं, तो तकरीबन 1,500 ट्रिप्स है, तो इतने सारे टैंक्स के द्वारा लोगों को पानी दे रहे हैं।
In view of the water crisis, the local administration has provided 265 cattle camps in Beed. In all, about 2,65,000 cattle are provided fodder and water here. 80% of such cattle camps are located in Marathwada alone. Villagers say they are satisfied with the arrangements. 25 million people are facing the twin problems of drought and water scarcity in Beed district. While farmers and poor people are fleeing the district, authorities have stationed almost 900 tankers besides diverting water rationed from the city. But it's all proving to be an uphill battle against the rising heat and water scarcity. Arvind Kumar Singh's report from Beed district in Maharashtra for Rajya Sabha TV.
Of course, not helping the situation, scorching heat continues to prevail in large swathes in the country. The deadly heat has claimed over 150 lives in the past 2 weeks and also triggered water scarcity in several states. This severe heat is not only affecting humans but animals too, with zoo authorities taking special measures to keep them cool.
Odisha is witnessing record summer temperatures, with Titlagarh recorded a staggering 47.5 degrees Celsius on Friday. In Bhubaneswar, zoo officials at the Nandankanan Zoo are doing all they can to protect the animals from the scorching heat. Besides watermelons and coconuts, the animals are being fed food supplements to keep them cool.
Prior to February, we have arranged such summer arrangement like thatching of the houses, roof structure of the enclosures, and also backroll of the enclosures, providing shelter to the carnivores as well as small mammals, reptiles.
जानवर भी परेशान है, काफी जानवर सब छुपा हुआ है अंदर अपने में केव्स में.
In the rest of the country, Telangana and Andhra Pradesh were the two other worst affected states on Saturday when mercury crossed 45 degrees. Ramagundam in Telangana recorded 46.1 degrees Celsius for the first time in the last 10 years. The western disturbance, however, brought some rains and drizzles yesterday in the northern region, with mercury dropping 4 to 5 degrees in Himachal Pradesh and Uttarakhand. Going by normal weather patterns, India is still 20 to 30 days away from peak summer, but the current weather condition is an ominous sign of the torrid summer ahead of us. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
We'll keep an eye out on the weather situation. Meanwhile, in more news, Congress leaders today gave notice to suspend Question Hour in Rajya Sabha when it resumes on Monday and adopt a resolution condemning the imposition of President's rule in Uttarakhand. The budget session will be resuming after the recess on Monday. The notices given by Leader of Opposition in Rajya Sabha Ghulam Nabi Azad and Deputy Leader of Congress in the House Anand Sharma accused the BJP government of destabilizing a democratically elected government in the state. The notice given under Rule 267 seeks from Rajya Sabha Chairman Mohammad Hamid Ansari the passage of a resolution condemning the Modi government for imposing President's rule in the state. On Friday, the Supreme Court had stayed till the 27th of April the State High Court's judgment quashing imposition of President's rule. The Congress is trying to project the President's rule in Uttarakhand and Arunachal Pradesh earlier as an attack on the federal structure. It is also banking on a large number of opposition parties to back it on the issue. Meanwhile, the high-voltage campaign for fourth phase of polls in West Bengal saw election rallies addressed today by Home Minister Rajnath Singh and Congress Vice President Rahul Gandhi in the state. Today also marked the start of the poll campaign by DMK for the 16th May elections in Tamil Nadu. Party President M. Karunanidhi kick-started the campaign at Saidapet in Chennai.
Home Minister Rajnath Singh addressing an election rally in West Bengal. In Baduria in North 24 Parganas, he told the gathering that the TMC had failed to live up to its promises to the people of the state.
मैंने जैसा कहा था केवल भारतीय जनता पार्टी को पश्चिम बंगाल में ताकत दे दो और मैं आज पश्चिम बंगाल की जनता को विश्वास दिलाकर जाना चाहता हूं। मैं देखूंगा किस मां के लाल ने दूध पिया है जो कि पश्चिम बंगाल की धरती पर बम बनाने की हिम्मत कर सकता है। ये लोग काम ज्यादा करना चाहिए, भाषण कम करना चाहिए। और आप देखते हो जो लोग ज्यादा बोलते रहे होंगे जो राजनीतिक पार्टियां वो काम कम करती हैं। हम लोग बोलते कम है और काम ज्यादा करते हैं।
The Congress Vice President also addressed a rally in Howrah district. Accusing the government of failing to bring jobs to the state, Rahul Gandhi promised that his party will generate employment for the youth in West Bengal. He accused the Mamata Banerjee government of snatching away people's money and savings through the Sharda chit fund scam.
और जब हमारी यहाँ सरकार आएगी तो हमारा पहला काम रोजगार का होगा, विकास का होगा, प्रगति का होगा। ये जो जूट मिल बंद हो रही है, जो ईंट के भट्टे बंद हो रहे हैं, उन लोगों को हम ऑल्टरनेटिव रोजगार देने का काम करेंगे।
Campaigning also started for the DMK in Tamil Nadu, with party president M. Karunanidhi addressing a gathering at Saidapet in Chennai. He's likely to address 17 public meetings till May 14th, besides filing his nomination on 25th April in Thiruvarur Assembly constituency. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Bihar Chief Minister Nitish Kumar formally took over as National President of the Janata Dal United at the party's National Executive Meet in Patna today. He accepted the new role and Nitish Kumar said that he will try to be the catalyst to unite anti-BJP forces to defeat the Saffron Party. Nitish also gave hints about his prime ministerial dream, saying that if a person is destined to be the PM, then he would become the PM one day. Nitish was elected as party president on the 10th of April, replacing Sharad Yadav at the party's National Executive Meeting held in New Delhi.
और जो भी मेरी क्षमता है उसके अनुरूप पार्टी संगठन को चलाने की कोशिश करूंगा और सबके सहयोग से संगठन और मजबूत बने, इसका विस्तार हो, इसके लिए वक्त भी देने की कोशिश करूंगा।
And now let's take you through what else made news across the country in Nationwide. At least 2 persons were killed and several houses damaged in fresh landslides triggered by rains in Tawang district of Arunachal Pradesh today, raising the toll to 19. The fresh landslips occurred at a village which is 20 kilometers from Tawang between the Tawang-Lumla road. 30 houses were badly damaged and one house where the victims were staying was washed away. A Mumbai court sent 2 more people into police custody till the 25th of April in the Deonar dumping ground fire case. The 2 allegedly planned the incident that involved at least 9 scrap dealers who set off the blaze at the dumping ground on the 28th of January and the 20th of March. The Oman police have taken 2 people into custody for the murder of Indian nurse Chiku Robert. Her husband was earlier questioned by the police. Meanwhile, Robert's body will be brought back to her hometown in Kerala on Wednesday. The nurse was found dead in her apartment with at least a dozen stab wounds on her body. With that, a quick break here. We'll be getting you more international news in a bit. Stay with us.
Maldives is strategically very important for us.
China is interested in spreading its tentacles everywhere in the Indian Ocean.
Maldives is not Pakistan. The Maldives has been under President Gayoom's quasi-dictatorial rule.
Watch experts discuss and debate with me India's new policy towards the Maldives on Rajya Sabha television.
The sacred relics of Buddha were unearthed in Piprava in Uttar Pradesh. Buddhist monks from all over the world visit the National Museum to pay their respects. These charred bone fragments of Buddha are housed in the gold canopy gifted by the royal family of Thailand.
Welcome back. Let's get to international news, starting with Bangladesh, where unidentified attackers hacked to death a professor near his home in the northwest of the country on Saturday. It was the latest in a series of brutal attacks on bloggers, intellectuals and activists in the country. Rajshahi University professor AFM Razaul Karim Siddiqui was murdered within 50 meters of his home in the country's northwestern city of Rajshahi. The motive behind the murder is not immediately known. However, the ISIS has claimed responsibility for the attack. Angry students and teachers of the university rallied in the campus, demanding an immediate arrest of the culprits. Professor Siddiqui is the 4th university professor to have been murdered. Over the past year, Islamist groups have killed several people, including atheist writers and publishers. Now to the US, where at least 8 people of the same family were shot to death in an execution style in 4 homes in Ohio. The shooters may still be at large, is what officials are saying. Authorities, in fact, believe that the lone gunman is on the loose, although a person of interest was detained in another community late on Friday night. The victims include 7 adults and a juvenile. All were shot in the head, according to the country's sheriff. Meanwhile, 5 people were also killed in Georgia in 2 separate shootings that authorities claim appear to be related domestic incidents. No arrests have been made so far in that as well. In other news, world leaders from 175 countries signed the historic Paris Climate Accord on Friday. Earth Day became the backdrop of the ceremonial inking of the long-fought deal that aims to slow the rise of harmful greenhouse gases. By signing the 4-month-old agreement, the nations pledged to join the fight against global warming.
Earth Day was the day a record number of 175 countries chose to sign the historic Paris Accord to slow global warming. UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon told the gathering that the era of consumption without consequences is over.
Today, the governments of the world made history.
just as they did last December in Paris at COP21. With their signature today, governments have made a covenant with the future.
The US and China, which together account for nearly 40% of global emissions, said they intend to formally join the agreement this year. US Secretary of State John Kerry brought his young daughter to the signing ceremony in a symbolic gesture to stress the importance of pact for future generations.
The power of this agreement is the opportunity that it creates. The power is the message that it sends to the marketplace. It is the unmistakable signal that innovation, entrepreneurial activity, the allocation of capital, the decisions that governments make, all of this is what we now know definitively is what is going to define the new energy future, a future that is already being defined, but even yet to be discovered.
尽早参加巴黎协定。中国将在今年9月20国集团杭州峰会之前完成参加协定的国内法律程序。
The deal commits countries to restraining the global rise in temperatures to well below 2 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial levels. The deal will come into force as soon as 55 countries responsible for 55% of the world's greenhouse gases have ratified the accord. The target date for the agreement to begin is 2020. For French President François Hollande, who hosted the talks in the wake of last November's terror attacks, this was a moment of satisfaction.
Le contexte à Paris était dramatique, tragique, après les attentats terroristes qui avaient frappé la capitale française. Mais le monde a su, justement, dans un élan de solidarité et aussi de responsabilité.
Famous Hollywood actor Leonardo DiCaprio also addressed the international officials, telling them they were the last best hope for saving the planet.
An upheaval, a massive change is required right now, one that leads to a new collective consciousness, a new collective evolution of the human race, inspired and enabled by a sense of urgency from all of you.
Despite Friday's signing ceremony, most individual countries are still obliged to ratify the agreement in their own parliaments. The first 3 months of 2016 have broken temperature records, and 2015 was the planet's warmest year since records began in the 19th century, with heat waves, droughts and rising sea levels. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Now let's get you some more international news updates in Global Buzz. A fire at a chemical warehouse in East China was put out on early Saturday morning after 16 hours of hard work. The chemical and fuel warehouse caught fire and exploded Friday night. The warehouse is authorized to keep hazardous chemicals, according to reports. The company's official blog said that the fire was brought under control with no casualties or injuries. The materials on fire included methanol and mixed aromatics. China is planning to build about 20 floating reactor platforms to meet the demand of maritime atomic propulsion, driving a market that could be worth tens of billions of dollars. Floating nuclear power plants are being developed with the goal of providing electricity to offshore construction projects, even in remote locations. The China Shipbuilding Industry Corporation, a state-run company, is working to build an entire fleet of the floating power plants, citing strong demand for the ships. In the US, Republican frontrunner Donald Trump has once again come under fire for his attempt to use the Indian accent to mock a call center representative in India. Trump said that he called up his credit card company to find out whether their customer support is based in the US or overseas. But at the same time, he described India as a great place. Islamic State fighters have claimed that they have captured the pilot of a Syrian warplane which crashed the southeast of Damascus. The pilot, Azam Eid from Hama, was captured after he fell by a parachute near the site where his plane crashed. A video was posted on a website which showed the burning wreckage of the plane. Russian news agency Interfax said that the plane belonged to the Syrian Air Force and crashed because of a technical fault. And now let's get you all the latest from the world of sports in Sports Beat. India's ace Q-is Pankaj Advani has bowed out of the Indian Snooker Championship. He lost the semi-final in a tightly contested match after having ousted Syrian Karam Fatima in the quarters. BCCI President Shashank Manohar on Friday informed that the board waived off the $41.97 million fine imposed on the West Indies Cricket Board for abandoning the 2014 tour to India midway. Manohar said that West Indies will tour India in 2017 to play the pending matches from the 2014 series. The schedule will be finalized by the end of May this year. Japan's Kei Nishikori has advanced to the final of the Barcelona Open. Nishikori eased past Benoit pair 6-3, 6-2 in straight sets in the first semi-final. He will now face the winner of the second semi-final between top-seeded Rafael Nadal and Germany's Philipp Kohlschreiber. FIFA President Gianni Infantino on Friday announced the formation of a monitoring body to oversee the working conditions of labourers at Qatar's 2022 World Cup stadia. Earlier, reports suggested that hundreds of labourers died as Qatar made preparations for the tournament, which the country repeatedly kept denying. Amnesty International said that the number of workers could rise to 36,000 by 2018. And that's all we have for you on the news tonight. Thanks so much for joining us.